Hello from wherever you are, and welcome to Let's Play Games. I'm John McFarland, Adult Services Librarian for National Public Libraries, and I hope you'll join me in learning or rediscovering some of the more common and uncommon games out there. This time we are going to go into one of the all-time classic spellbinders. 6 suspects, 6 murder weapons, 9 rooms. I don't have a clue who did it. Let's find out. Let's get stuck in. So, Clue is a basic whodunit game. This is one of those lovely time experiences where you've got just some options here of what you're going to do and how you're going to determine who was the murderer in what room with what weapon. So this can be up to 6 players. There's different ways to do it based on how many players there are. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through each of the possible combinations, not literally every possible combination, but the gist, because we have 6 potential murderers. We have 6 potential murder weapons, and we have 9 rooms that it could have possibly happened in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these off to the side, and we're going to go through our list of suspects first. We have here Mr. Green, Colonel Mustard, Dr. Orchid, Mrs. Peacock, Professor Plum, and Miss Scarlet. Each of these is one of the potential murderers. We then have, also in a relativistic order, the weapons. The candlestick, the dagger, the lead pipe, the revolver, the rope, and the wrench. This is one of your also 6 combinations. And notice how we've got some complexity here because we have 6 suspects and we have 6 possible combinations. It's already starting to add up real quick. Well, now we have to throw in the rooms. So we have the ballroom located here in the center, the billiard room off to our left side, the conservatory in the corner, the dining room here on the far right side, the entrance hall up at the top, the kitchen here in the bottom right corner, the library in the top left, the lounge, which is camping out in the top right, and our study all the way up on our top left. So we have a fair amount of complexity. So this game is all about figuring out not only who done it, but how they done it and where they done it. So what you're going to do is we're going to go ahead and shuffle each of these 3 stacks because we have to now figure out who took out Mr. Body. There's always the fun lore to this game. I'll go ahead and tell you that this game is based around making these accusations, but making more suggestions than accusations, because as a player, you get only 1 accusation per game. But you get to make plenty of suggestions. You just have to go into the room and suggest, and by process of elimination. So what I'm going to do is that one. I'm going to put off this to the side. I'm going to keep shuffling. And I want you to go ahead and notice that in the corners, so the study, the lounge, the kitchen, and the conservatory, there are actual special secret passages as we select that murderer. Put it all together. You can use 1 pip, so I'm going to use the dice terminology here, the pip of movement, in order to be able to determine who gets to move and how far they get to move. Notice you can only enter a room. Notice these spaces here. Each pip is 1 pip of movement, and it's going to be that murder weapon. So I'm going to take these. Neither you nor I are looking. You see, I'm not looking either. So we have no idea who is going in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shuffle all of these up. So we'll have a range of individual suspect items. And I'm going to use just 1 sheet here, but everybody will typically have only the knowledge of what cards are given to them. So how do you possibly figure it out, since you're the one who wants to be able to successfully whodunit? Well, what you're going to do is make your accusations, and then a player will tell you something that they have if they have that card. Because the idea is, if you have something to show, you, well, have to show it. And by that process of elimination, you have to be able to say, wonder what I possibly could have. So I'm going to start with Miss Scarlet. Miss Scarlet is always the one who gets to play first. I don't know why this is, I just know that it is. You can choose to play however you wish. But at least according to the rule set, you get these basic ones to start out. So what I'm going to do is, I've got my pen here. So this will be Scarlet, this will be Mustard, this will be Orchid, this will be Green, this is Peacock, and then this will be Mr. Plum. So what we are going to do is we're going to actually find out fairly quickly who the actual murderer is, what weapon, and what room. Just showing you this for the first time, because I'm going to go through what each person has. So that way we know how it goes. So Scarlet has the billiard room, has the candlestick, and has the lead pipe. So already we know that that is the possible combination here. You're not going to trade cards or anything. So now Colonel Mustard has this Peacock, has the kitchen, and has the dining room. Dr. Orchid has Dr. Orchid. Good to know that Dr. Orchid has absolved themselves. A good idea in any murder mystery to make sure you're not a suspect. Has the wrench and has the study. Notice we already are getting pretty close to finding out at least the who and the what, just not the where. So Mr. Green has the dagger, has Miss Scarlet, and has the hull. Now we're getting very, very close. Miss Peacock has the revolver, and we now know that the rope is for sure our weapon, or at least I hope if I drew it correctly. Has the ballroom, and then has the library. So it's either Mr. Green or Professor Plum in the conservatory or the lounge. So depends on what they have here. Notice I fibbed a little bit just now. So Professor Plum knows it's not Mr. Green or themselves in the conservatory. So we now know, let's go ahead and kind of look through this, that it's going to be Colonel Mustard with the rope in the lounge. Let's just make sure we drew this correctly. Looks like we're doing fine. So that is our simple process of elimination. Now, let's go through this bit by bit. Notice that we just did fair process of elimination, and it will be your job as a player to determine who did what. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to reshuffle, and I'm going to leave a little mystery in. So that way we can kind of discover this together. So 1 second, I'm going to reshuffle the whole matter because we have ourselves a mystery to solve. 1 second. now, I went ahead and redistributed, and we have ourselves a new crime. Again, we start with Miss Scarlet. So here's the way that it works. We're going to roll the die. Rolling the die involves a certain level of movement. And let's see here. Obviously, I have redrawn cards, so I'm not going to show them to you this time. This is going to be half the fun. So each player has their things marked off. So a couple of things to note. If you've eliminated a room, it's kind of worth it to not go there because you're only going to find out so much information. So you want to move around to rooms to figure out which options you have. If you know suspects, you can kind of narrow it down, but you haven't eliminated the rooms yet or found the weapon. If you have a lot of weapons, you can kind of narrow it down due to blind guessing. So the strategy is up to you as to how you want to show it off. So, Miss Scarlet. And I want you to ignore this. This functions as a 1 for now. I'll show this in a bit. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Can't do anything because you can only make guesses inside a room. So there's a little bit of luck involved here. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's no diagonal moving. It's just cardinal directions. This orchid, so it starts a little slow for some people. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And then Mr. Green. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's see here. You totally didn't see anything if you just saw it. So, they're going to go into the ballroom and they're allowed to make a suggestion. So just one moment. Let's decide here. They're going to suggest that it was themselves with the candlestick in the ballroom. You know, see if you can eliminate out of the way. So now here's what happens. From left, we're going to go clockwise. This person here, so that'll be Peacock. So they've suggested candlestick, green, ballroom. And what's going to happen is Mrs. Peacock here is going to show that player 1 card, which they're showing them now. So this person goes, okay, cool. So they're going to go to their card and mark off 1 thing. Play will continue. So they now know, okay, that one wasn't it. But it could still be any one of the 2 other prepositions they made. You only know some information. So now it's going to be Mrs. Peacock's turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Professor Plum. A lot of 5s today. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We're back to Miss Scarlet. 6. 1, 2, 3. So let's see what they decide here. They are going to also suggest Mr. Green. They're going to suggest with the dagger. And they are going to suggest in the lounge. So now, with Colonel Mustard. Nope. Nope. So Dr. Orchid is going to show 1 card and 1 card only. So they get to mark their card. And on this process of elimination will go around, where now you're going to be able to make some accusations. So notice how this is a fairly simplistic game in being able to show you the how and the why of something occurs. Combine what I showed you with process of elimination with this showing of piece by piece by piece, you get on towards the entire process. So a little bit of how it works later. Colonel Mustard is going to go into room, make accusation, and play will continue around. So on your turn, by the way, you're still going to have to roll to use these secret studies, but it still counts as your movement to move all the way from the lounge to the conservatory. One thing I will say is more often than not, the way that this works is in order to make your actual full accusation. And what you can actually do is you have these tokens involved here. Let's say that you wanted to do the wrench. And let's say you were Professor Plum and you wanted to accuse Colonel Mustard in the library with the wrench. It would go around the table. Can anyone disprove Colonel Mustard? Can anyone disprove the library? Can anyone disprove the wrench? If they can't, the player then gets to make their full accusation. Now, let's say they're wrong. If they are wrong, they're out of the game. And their clues, as it were, are just going to be typically shown out to everyone. So it's basically a way to speed up the game and process of elimination. But in the case they are right, they would know that it was Colonel Mustard with the wrench in the library, and the game is over. So that is in basis the way you play this game. Now, give me 1 second. I'm going to reset this one more time. And then I'll show you some variations that you can use to make this game a little more either fast-paced, interesting, or dynamic. 1 second. So, there is, in the more modern version, a way to increase some of the ways in which you play the game, and it's typically through this little magnifying glass icon. So there are these separate cards that I haven't mentioned before, and there are a couple of different types that I want to bring up. I'll move this out of the way for the moment. So two of them are more movement-based. All players get to move to the room of your choice. Not bad, so a movement-based one. Also, a fun secret passage. So let's say that you get this card and you now place in the dining room, and it connects actually to any of the other secret passages. So it's a fun little way, and you just have it around here. So these are more movement-based cards. All players revealing one card from their hand. So they get to choose what card it is. So for each player, let's say the billiard room, lounge, conservatory, lots of room cards right at the beginning. The lead pipe, the dagger, and the rope. So no suspects, but 3 rooms and 3. Let's say that you are really needing that last little weapon card. You now know what to aim for. And yes, you will get to the point at the end of the game where you know what the weapon is, and pretty much everyone knows what the weapon is, or knows who the suspect is, or knows where the room is, but you're just trying to suss out those last pieces. You also get to do one card at random from the other. So let's say you're across the table and you want to look at what the Scarlet has. Take a random card. You get to take a sneaky peek, but you're the only one that gets to see it. Also, one of my favorite cards here is choose the guiltiest looking player to put one card from their hand face up in front of them. So let's say we've already done that, and you want to go after Colonel Mustard. You can eliminate Miss Peacock out of your suspects list. You can also do what I particularly like, which is revealing one particular weapon or suspect or type of location. So let's say that you want to know where Mr. Green is. So I'm going to look through all of these. Not looking good for Mr. Oh, there it is. So there's Mr. Green. So now you have that location or suspect or what weapon. We're almost all the way around the table. We also have this last one of just showing secretly one card to the left. So this is just a way to kind of change the way the game is played and change some of the aspects of it. But in a sense, this is just the basic version of Clue. The only other version I kind of wanted to show you was there's a way to play with just 2 players. So what you're going to do is you can play either as one or the other, having a lot of suspects, and you'll put 4 cards in random rooms, and that functions as your way of still having some mystery while still being able to do the back and the forth. Team game I haven't necessarily seen work in practice, but you never know. Might be a fun way to try, or create your own version. But this is Clue. That's all the time we have for today. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to check out some of the other elements of our amazing NPL board game collection. If you go on our catalog on library.nashville.org and look for Clue or search for board games in the catalog, you'll find this and dozens upon dozens of other games, from Suro to Clue to Scrabble to Carcassonne. We have plenty of selection. I'll see you next time.